distances, and all you do is extend that out. And I promise you, here's the deal, Scott. I can do a horizontal line for however long you say to do it, right? And you can build a trough underneath that horizontal line and fill it up with water. They're both going to be the same.
Well, that's the question, right? That's what we're trying to.
That doesn't fix anything though, because it could either be flat horizontal like we say in the water would stay in it, or it could be curving like they say in the water.
The problem is he creates a straight line via segments that are constantly re-referencing the down.
Yeah, I got it.
Horizontal is not curved. Can't be.
Okay, but could you do this though? Could you do this if you did one horizontal segment that's perpendicular to plumb, and now that has a straightness to it? Now never checking plumb again. Never ever checking plumb again. Could you extend that line in the same direction that it was going indefinitely without using plumb?
The sag, man.
Without using level or plumb or anything, just continue straight.
Basically, using its own geometry to keep it going. Yeah, okay, all right, gotcha.
Yeah, that would be
How do you claim there's no sag when you're using the plumb to reference it over such a long distance?
Well,
yeah, because you're either because in the case
you have to use angles.
Yeah, if you interlace it, sure, but then I'm saying like you would expect this minimal sag that would be exaggerated, you know, but
yeah, when using lines or string, you would, of course.
I'm thinking even like the most rigid steel, you know what I mean? Like you're going, even if you were
yeah, I agree.
The way you lace it together, whenever you fasten it together, there's just going to be, I mean, I don't know how rigid you could keep a horizontal.
Yeah, I see your point in the sag, but we're talking about creating a horizontal line with surveying instruments, and it's easily done. Why Larry Scott says it's not possible, or he doesn't think, he's never done it, and blah blah blah. I don't get that statement. Maybe I misunderstood him.
Couldn't a theodolite shoot right over your plane that you build? Wouldn't the theodolite be able to shoot down the eye line of it and kind of see that it's flat?
Theodolite can be used over longer distances than what the manufacturer will guarantee its accuracy during certain conditions. But when you go beyond that under certain conditions, it becomes really inaccurate because of the way light bends. But over short distances, they're very, very accurate, and you can transform those.
How about this? You know how you say you snap the line, like you snap a chalk line? Couldn't you kind of just keep overlaying, like, 90% of it, just extending 10% of it, and like just keep snapping a chalk line?
Yeah, but I mean, you bring in a lot of errors of man, but you can double check that with theodolites and other man-made instruments. And a water level is the most accurate. And I'm not saying a stream or a lake, I'm talking about the tool water level can be used over any distance, and that's the most accurate. The only thing that's going to make that vary is any man-made problem that comes around. If man messes up.
RAQIA, the thing is though, we need something to measure the water against, because they say it's curving and we say it's straight. So we need this horizontal plane so we could actually measure up against it.
Yeah, and then they're going to say that horizontal plane was segmented and blah blah blah. It's a circle jerk.
I mean,
you can get 1,000 surveyors. Okay, you can get 1,000 surveyors to say I do a horizontal line over a lake of 3 miles and measure down to the water after I do the horizontal line, and it's constant, right? It's a foot everywhere, and they're still going to say that horizontal line is bending. It's curving with the bendy water. I mean, you
need a laser. A laser path will straight and true, or like some sort of EMF signal. Oh.
A laser is actually less accurate than crosshairs. It's very accurate over short distances.
Crosshairs?
Well, when you're looking through a telescope,
lenses.
Right, but that's more accurate over longer distances than a laser. A laser distorts too quickly and is affected by the atmosphere more than an optic.
But the optic bends and distorts the image, so you're going to need a laser to double check it. You're going to need a laser to double check it anyway. So why don't you just go straight to the laser?
No, you double check both. That's what we did over 2 3/4 miles, and what can I say? it's
what the laser double check.
RAQIA is right. RAQIA is actually right here. The laser is going to diverge and get pretty big over a mile versus the crosshairs, which can be very accurate even over a mile. They're accurate.
You can't use a laser over a mile.
That can still be calculated, though.
Some of them are rated to half an arc second, right? So that's pretty damn accurate.
Yeah.
And it's not going to form an image forever. Pretty soon.
See, my idea was to use
form an image.
My idea was my idea is you set a level line, let's say at 100 yards, and then you line up those two in the scope, and then you set up a third, no longer referencing the plumb, just referencing the level line of lining up the two objects. And then you just keep doing that over and over again. Every two, you line them up, and then you shoot a third. You line up the first two, then you shoot a third. But I don't know how much error you're going to add. You can calculate it, though.
That was my idea, man. Was to, like, let's say it's 2 miles. Well, similar to that idea is to use that scope that's leveled and put a point exactly in the center of that scope, 2 miles away. Make sure the other person puts it in a precise position. Like, let's say there's a wall. Let's say there's all against the wall. And you can mark that precise position and do the same thing, like 75% of the way to 50% of the way, 25%, and just keep making marks that line up with that point in the distance. And you're going to get, it's going to be relatively straight. It's not going to be perfect because of refraction, but you should be able to use that to reference the water or whatever you have above it.
From the flat earth, sir. Yes, you can easily do that. And yes, there's going to be some variables due to the calibration, your man-made errors, some refraction, blah, 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 but you're not going to get the 8 inches per mile drop that you would need on a sphere at the given radius. And what I would say to that is welcome to flat earth.
George spent weeks doing very careful analysis with optical surveying tools. So why is it that he showed 8 inches per mile?
Who?
Because he used
George.
He will tell you. He will tell you openly, and he's done it several times over live streams, that he wasn't measuring Earth curve. He was measuring the refractive effects of the time period.
Right, but the byproduct.
What nonsense! What
nonsense!
Nonsense!
Go get him.
So you think? Right. So hang on. So your claim is that George Natchuk says that his frozen lake observations, all they showed was refraction.
That's what he said lately.
No, let me clarify. His point is, Jim.
Go get
His point is, he does say that it is he was testing refraction. The byproduct of that, however, is that it shows Earth curve. Just like Cavendish was designed to weigh the Earth, but the byproduct is it shows gravity.
You guys can't make
materials. Doesn't matter what your test was designed for.
You guys can't make a horizontal plane to measure this water curving.
We just described
how you could. Horizontal plane.
Apparently, George did.
So we can go over George's thing because Walter Bislin modeled it pretty accurately. I have it here. Hold on.
You might want to get George's current stance, Coach Church.
What's wrong with what I just said? It is a byproduct of his test. His test shows Earth curve, but it was showing refraction.
I'm fine with you saying that. I'm fine with you saying that. I'd rather ask the source, which is George.
So George, who wrote on this website as well, it says here the Rainy Lake experiment was designed to show how we can figure out the shape of the Earth, flat or globe, by observing and measuring a clever arrangement of targets over a distance of 10K, taking terrestrial refraction into account and using modern equipment.
Did you ever read the hypothesis they wrote for that? It was fucking ridiculous. QE read it off one night. It was silly.
Terrestrial refraction. Based on what? The assumption of R. Yeah. And so now that's why I said, to be fair, let's get George's, the guy who actually did 72 days of testing and who's done multiple shots over the same location. Let's get his current stance on what his test proved.
If you're a surveyor and you do 72 measurements, all you've done is gotten an average of the refraction. You haven't eliminated it. You just got the average,
which gives you accurate height results. Wow, amazing. If it was just giving you an average, it wouldn't give you accurate answers. So they're doing a little bit more than just averaging. Unless averaging gives you the answer.
Jeremy, what is the average?
average refraction. I don't know.
No. Don't care about what it is. What's the average of a set of data? What is it?
Oh my gosh.
No. Like I'm going to call Jeremy out on this nonsense every time he spews out stuff that I'm pretty sure he doesn't understand.
I can tell you how to get an average.
How do you calculate it?
You know, you get all your data and you get all your measurements, and then you add them all up and divide them by how many you got.
Great. And then what other value do you need along with that? Because the average is meaningless without another statistical value.
I don't know, Rocket. What do you need?
Why don't you look up what the standard deviation is?
Yeah. He's never taken statistics. He's not going to know the standard deviation.
I'm going to lay into Jeremy every time he uses a word that I know he doesn't know.
What, average?
Plus the rest of it is that you don't understand what stats work. That was my whole point of actually asking you.
Well, I know how averages work.
Tell me how you
No, that's bullshit, deviation. Rocket. That is some bullshit. You are fucking moving the goalpost on him.
Yeah, he's basically. I think what Rocket's point though is, his point is that the importance of like, let's say in this observation or in Al Baruni's observation, the importance of not just taking just a basic average or not just not doing the measurement because refraction.
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard Jeremy use the term.
There's ways to get accurate information from that.
I've heard Jeremy use the term margin of error and stuff like this. So this is just a little bit.
Margin of error and standard deviation are not the same thing.
Okay, well, regardless of that, just like I said, I posted Walter Bisland's overview of what George did. It has a lot of details on it, more than just a couple of buzzwords or whatever. It talks about how he can measure refraction, about how he can measure the radius of the Earth, how he targeted with GPS vectors, all these things that are involved in that Rainy Lake experiment.
All right, Don, I'm going to rip into you. In a calculation, how do you establish what the margin of error is? Let's say you have an equation. So you have three variables. It's a function of three variables. And you know what the error bars of those three values are. How do you get what the final margin of error is going to be from that? Nothing?
Statistics are just numbers. It's just math.
And somebody might call me flexing right now. Don, you take the partial differential of that function relative to all of the variables, and then you can include. And then you have a different equation which represents the margin of error of that function, and you put in all of the error bars where the actual partial differentials are, and you calculate out what your margin of error is. Don, you're another one that throws words around. You have no fucking clue what they mean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. I just asked you. You threw one out there, and I just asked you.
Which one? I'm sorry, I'm typing about.
Margin of error. You couldn't answer it.
What's the margin of error? The acceptable limit, or the expected
That's what I asked you, Don. I asked how you calculate the margin of error. Were you not listening?
How do I pronounce it?
How do you calculate?
Oh, I don't know.
So you have no idea how to calculate the margin of error.
It depends on what set you're trying to get, man.
On what?
You're right. I have no idea what the term means, Rocket. I have no idea. I'm
Then
using
don't
that
use
word,
it.
and I have no idea. You win that one.
Well, again, I'm looking over his Rainy Lake stuff, and Jeremy, it might be useful for you to check it out. Whoever else, is curious about what exactly he did and what his observations were. I know you're saying he's just doing something based on refraction, but refraction is just involved in his measurement. So.
No, we can ask his current stance on his own observations. That would be the fair instead of us getting it right. And rocket scientists, if I give you some bad data that you plug in and get all these stats on, is it accurate information or is it just bad stats?
No, it demonstrates that you have no idea what you're doing.
No. I'm saying if your data is wrong, the data that you input into all your...
How are you establishing that the data is wrong?
No, we're saying it is wrong, right? We know it's wrong.
I don't say data is wrong. I assess what its value before I use it. So what are you trying to ask here?
Well, if you get the average data and run it through the average of bad data, right? It's still bad.
What the hell is average of bad data?
Okay, good for you.
Well, actually, could you say what bad data is? I mean, I'm not following that either.
That's what I was trying to understand as well.
Are you talking about the fact that refraction makes things change and you're considering that to be bad data? Or are you saying something else?
He's trying to be cute with me, and I wasn't going to have anything to do with that.
Because you're being an ass.
I am being an ass. I make no apologies for that.
That's why I said congratulations.
Do you have something else now?
Yeah, let's talk about George's 2 pictures I posted. Over 2.7 miles only. Using the same equipment.
Why don't you read what he's documented on Walter Business blog, which is...
Yeah, I am. I'm going over that. It's the same equipment from the same position, right? Only this is 2.7 miles away instead of 6. And you can see the margin of error that you can put in all the statistics analysis that you want, and you wouldn't get the right measurement, sir.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about or what you're going on about.
Yeah, too simple.
You haven't posted anything. What are you referring to?
Pictures I posted at 2:41. RAQIA life. Figure it out, smart guy.
He's showing that there was a variation in the observed, the tangent from the scope.
It's horizontal. It's not tangent. Line. And that's George, right? With his equipment.
So what you would do then is you probably wouldn't do tests on days that have heavy refraction like that.
What would you do? Take the average of these?
No.
Personally, I would throw that data away.
Send your which one? Which data would you throw away here?
Clearly the one on the top.
Clearly? Why?
Because it's all stretched and mirrored.
You know the top one is the one that he says is the least refracted, right?
Let me look at it. I wouldn't guess that.
Shit. Yeah, I know. It would be a guess, right? And if you took the average of these guesses, you would be wrong.
I'm not a surveyor. So.
Right, I agree. Okay, so no problem. I'll take it back. But send all this data to the professional statistics guy. I can't even say it. I definitely can't spell it. I barely passed it. To rocket scientists and his data, his averages that he would get.
Rocky, it's amazing that I have to listen to somebody who is a demonstrated fucking liar. Go on about his credibility of his values.
Not wrong. We know what's going on there, or it's at least people who know about refraction do.
You know what's going on? You thought the top one was more refraction.
I said we, but I said, or rather, professionals do know.
No, they don't.
They don't. Then how do they get accurate? How do they get accurate results through all this shit? They get within inches over 26 miles.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Ask any.
I asked one. I don't know.
Get Jesse Kozlowski in here now. I'll bet you.
It wasn't Jesse Kozlowski.
26 miles. He cannot get an accurate measurement.
Yeah, he did.
No,
he got one. He got one.
You know that Jesse said
he did get one.
20 feet
From 26 miles, he got the right answer.
You can act like a child all you want, but get George in here and get Jesse.
Well, he got the right answer. So how did he do that?
Because he did it up close.
Oh, because he did it up close. He showed the map.
Zebra is posting a picture from my video. Y'all should watch my video instead of just looking at a picture. Zebra.
So how did he get the right height?
I don't know. Ask him.
He didn't
do it. He didn't do it from 26 miles, sir. I can tell you that. No.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He might have looked through a theodolite over 26 miles.
He did it over 26 miles. Took the Earth curve into account.
Yeah.
Came up with the exact height of the tower.
Right. Sure he did. Get him in here.
Yeah, sure he did. Yeah.
Get him in here.
You were there. He was there with you. Do you not remember?
He was there with me.
Yes, you were in the room when he was talking about his 26-mile observation.
Yes. And you
okay, so you were
left.
there.
You might have left. I thought you meant I was there when he did the observation. You might have left when he said that there could be
up to a 20-foot of error. Yep.
Yeah, that's as far as we got. Right, there could be more.
Yeah, no, that was when you pushed him and you said there could be an error. Yes,
no, I just asked him.
But in general, they normalize that out.
Watch Soundly's video. Did y'all know that Soundly's picture of the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge is stacked photo? It's like
That's one of the ways he shows it.
CGI. Just one of the photos is stacked.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Here we go. Pretending there's only one photo again.
No.
Standard flat Earth tactic to deal with Soundly.
Standard Jim coming in here to dilute what I said. The picture of the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge that he uses is a stacked photo.
No, he didn't even post that. I posted it.
No, but he uses that picture, right?
He uses
uses other pictures.
Oh, he doesn't? Okay, I'm sorry.
Soundly uses one picture. That's it. One picture. That one that RAQIA is talking about. That one picture that Soundly uses. Fuck all his, days of video and all of the thousands of photographs.
3 years.
Soundly uses a picture. That picture Soundly uses. RAQIA, go to hell.
Curve. You want to add something and post one of Soundly's pictures? Because the one everybody always posts is the same one. And I just found out it was stacked.
No.
Hey, Curve, what's a stacked photo?
You're lying.
I'm
lying. You're lying.
Okay. You ask anyone to post Soundly's picture of the bridge, and they're going to post that one.
There's all
I post.
You're trying to make a big deal about it. You just found out it was stacked. You don't even know what that means.
I just said I didn't know.
Then why?
I did notice one thing you did say wrong about the 20-foot observation that Larry Scott was talking about. That was a low-level observation that you were grilling him on. It was like a building. And you had asked him whether that could be exactly on or could it be as much as 20 feet off, and he said yes to that. However, at the mountaintop, you do not have that kind of refraction.
That was Jesse. I was drilling over the 20-foot. Yeah, I think.
Okay, well, you were, but as I recall, that was a ground-level observation.
You're right, over water, yeah.
And you may remember
that doesn't happen on mountaintops.
Yeah, Larry's stuff is like 100-something miles.
Some people may remember when Riley did his whole CGI Ospreys thing with Soundly's. Well, that was with the I think it was called the strafing video. They called it. Well, that was to a video, and that was a great big deal at the time. Everyone was talking about it, and and that was long before this stack photo, probably 2 years before that. So it's just so often this happens. I hear flat earthers actually saying, "Oh, how come he can't be repeated? Why is it only one picture?"
Jim,
and this sort of thing, when there's hundreds of hours of the stuff.
Jim, did you know that picture was stacked? The one that's most commonly used?
I didn't even know there was a most commonly used picture.
Well, just for example, the one that Phil just posted, just as a coincidence, it's the same one. That picture that Phil just posted, The one that
you see, I wouldn't say that's the most commonly used one, because this is the one from the Marriott, which is hang on, nearly there, which is one of the last observations that Soundly did. Before that, he's got hundreds of observations before this. So I wouldn't say this is the most commonly used at all.
Okay, fair enough. Post the most common one that you think.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. You're just saying you know.
Well, I don't usually post Soundly's images. I don't. I mean, I think the best one is the animated GIF where he's going up and down on the elevator thing.
So not the picture of the bridge that we were talking about, the most common one.
Well, again, I don't know what the most common one is.
Well, the one
that's an idea that's in your head, not in mine.
Yeah, because I see this one all the time, right?
With that regard,
well, you just said you see this one all the time, and yet that can't be true.
And when I ask someone to post
this one hasn't been there for most of the last 5 years. This one hasn't even been there.
Oh, okay. Well, the most common one for the last year.
Yeah, but wouldn't you use the best one? I mean, the best example. They all show the same thing, or at least most of you show the same thing.
Sure, I'm fine with that.
And this one, you have one that actually is particularly crisp and a good example that happens to be stacked 20 photos on top of each other for clarity. But they all show the same thing regardless. One's just a little more clear.
You would need to show that something in the stacking process, that is taking the same photo lots of times and adding them together, that somehow that's changed the look of the bridge. So otherwise, this line of, well, I was going to say reasoning, but that's probably being too kind. What's the point of this? Unless you can show that something in that process can alter the image, then
well, something's altering the bridge, right? It doesn't, in reality, doesn't look that way. It's not. It does. I was told it was perspective. No, it doesn't. I was told it was perspective, compression perspective, along with the stacking. Now, I don't know what stacking does. He said it doesn't do anything, and I would have to agree with him because I don't know any different.
It's taking the same photo over and over again and then adding those together.
Uh-huh.
Usually you use it in astronomy where you haven't got a lot of light. And so if you...
altered photo.
So if you...
Well, altered?
You can say it's altered, but has it altered the shape of the bridge, that process?
Yes, because it's...
Okay,
I don't know about that process.
Okay, can you show how that process would alter the shape of the content of the photo?
I just clarified and said I don't know about that particular process.
Altering it.
Well, as we've just pointed out, we are talking about one photo in hundreds and hundreds of photos.
I'd like to see a photo like this.
So that need is met. How has that changed your mind? Now you know that all of those photos that you've just demanded actually exist.
No, I'm not demanding. I'm just demanding one.
Oh, I'm talking to this other guy.
Of the full bridge. Just
I'm
post
sorry?
one more. Just post one that's not stacked of the full bridge.
Oh, there are loads on his channel. I think most of the ones on his channel aren't stacked. Certainly the video isn't stacked. But again, if you're rejecting the photo because it's been stacked, then you need to show why. What's the reasoning behind that? Is it just you don't like the letter S at the beginning of the word stacked? Or is there actually something in stacked that can alter the content of the picture to make it unreliable?
I don't know. Do you know anything about stacked? I don't.
Yes, I do. Like I've said several times, it's just taking the same photo? It's taking the same photo over and over again rather than taking a long exposure to collect a lot of light. Does that look, Mr. It's an altered photo? Does that alteration change the content of the photo and how it looks?
Yes,
i.e., can it make a straight bridge looked curved? And if it can, explain how, or just shut up.
Well, the compression he uses can make. Go ahead, RAQIA.
Well, for one thing, this bridge isn't straight, right? It forms an arc from the land to the middle to the other land, which is Covington to Metairie. And those high points where the boats go under are not that steep. So yes, whatever is altering this photo, this picture is altered. Like it's not altered, reality.
That's how it looks in the telescope, dude.
Yeah, right. That's how it looks when it's through a telescope and stacked.
No, not that's how it looks in a telescope.
But again, if that's true.
No. Have you been there, sir?
Look, if your claim is true.
Who just claimed that?
If your claim is true,
you're not gonna let me rebuttal him?
If your claim is true, explain what part of the stacking process will change the shape of the bridge.
I don't know what's changed the shape of the bridge.
Well, why? Well, so you're just clutching at straws, aren't you? Just grabbing at anything?
No.
Aren't you? He stacked the photo, therefore we can reject it. No. Not without reasoning. Provide some reasoning.
Still have refraction and looming in perspective.
But those are different issues, aren't they? And if you, again,
the same
thing applies. If you can explain how that's making a straight bridge look curved, then go ahead.
Steep. And very steep, like it's exaggerating.
Stacking simply makes it a clearer image. That's all it is.
Okay, fair enough. So what's making that steep part where the boats go under? What's making that appear to be more steep?
How many times are you going to ask that same question and get the same answers, dude? I've heard you ask that 20 times and everybody tells you the same answer. And you come back again and you ask it again.
What is the answer?
Fucking ridiculous.
Because I just heard...
That's the way curved things look when you hold them straight away from you, like a pool cue or a piece of lumber, like everybody always tells you every time.
Right.
God, I'm sick of the sea lining shit.
It is annoying, isn't it? You're right.
We've done too much.
And it's annoying. When you take a stack photo that is compressed, or what do they call it? Compressed perspective, right? From a certain angle.
Which is perspective.
Just keep kidding yourself, Ricky. If you want to pretend that stacking a photo will change the shape of the content of the photo,
I never said
then go
that.
ahead and pretend that. But you're just an adult playing make-believe once again, you know?
I never said it changed the shape of the bridge. I said this
making shit
bridge,
up and pretending it's true.
I never said, let me be clear so I can record this.
No, let me be clear. You're making shit up.
I never said that stacking caused the shape to look like this.
So why are you making such a big deal about stacking then? Why are you going on and on about it, talking about what it does, and why are you trying to suggest?
Why are you trying to suggest what it does? Why are you misrepresenting me, Jim? I'm being dishonest. You're misrepresenting me, Jim.
And you're supposed to be some sort of Bible-believing Christian. And you sit there lying through your teeth.
You're supposed to be whatever you are. I'm not lying through my teeth.
No, I don't claim to be a Bible-believing Christian.
I never said stacking changed this picture.
No,
never.
You implied it heavily.
Oh, so now I implied. You said I said it, Jim.
Okay, what was the purpose of your line of questioning?
I'm asking what stacking. Could stacking
What was the purpose of your line of questioning?
I'm asking you what stacking is and could it make this
No, you weren't. You weren't asking me what it was.
I specifically asked that, Jim.
That was one of the things you asked.
Oh, okay, so I did ask it.
Oh,
right
so
when you said I didn't ask it,
you just
and
said,
now you said I did ask
just
it.
Making,
now who's lying now, Jim?
You were just making an honest...
Who's lying now, Jim?
You are. You're lying through your teeth right now. Because
you just said I didn't ask, and then said
because
I did
now you're pretending that all you did was make an honest inquiry to find out what stacking is. And that's a lie. You didn't do that. Stop
okay, what's
lying.
Stacking, Jim? What's stacking?
Liar.
What's stacking? Let me go through my exact
What's stacking? What's stacking? What?
Yeah,
shall I tell you again?
Cry for me, Jim.
Has your limited attention span made you forget what I told you about 3 minutes ago?
Why did you even come into this conversation, Jim? Why did you
Can I come in as an impartial?
Because anyone can come into this conversation.
Yeah, you came in here to disrupt it.
Okay, I came in here because I was bored, as others have said. We're bored of your tiresome sea line.
Yeah.
This idiotic one interrogation, one question after another. When you can't answer anything yourself, all you can do to defend your ideas is lie and make shit up.
All you can do is blame me for lying when you can go back and listen
you've admitted to lying. You've admitted to lying about this.
No, I didn't. That's another lie by Jim Panda. I admitted to trolling your ass.
No, that picture was
RAQIA, it is. RAQIA, what's the question with the boat thing? I really don't know if I understand. Are you trying to highlight why some things move but the bridge doesn't move? Is that what's the?
I don't know what you're talking about. Which one you talking about?
Well, on the stacking issue, like I'm just middleman here. I don't. You said there was why did the boats move or something? Then he answered you with the pool cue response.
Oh, the boats.
But
I get your question now.
What are you highlighting there?
See the steep part right there, the first one to you, the very steep one that's like at the bottom of the water tower. It's very steep. You see it, and there's a wooden thing out to the left. That's where boats go under the bridge. All right. So you see how steep it appears to be in this picture. That's not reality. Now, Soundly admits to this, that's not reality. And when I asked why it appears to be like that, well, Soundly kind of dances around it. M. Scott Veach said it was compressed perspective. And then Soundly said that this picture was stacked. Now, I have no idea what stacking was at the time. Right?
Okay, yeah. This picture is, this is a video taken from his telescope, I'm pretty sure. I just watched it. And so it's live video. I don't think he's stacking. This is just what you see through the eyepiece on the telescope when you look out there.
Are you posting that?
He posted it.
I posted it.
RAQIA, when are you going to get up in the Marriott and take that picture for yourself so you can quit this bullshit line of questioning?
Take many pictures of that bridge.
Get up in the fucking Marriott and take the goddamn picture and see what you see, for fuck's sake.
Do I have to stack it to make it look like this?
No, this wasn't stacked.
You see, but he's not saying that stacking causes a problem. He's not saying that, but he needs to know this about stacking.
That's a very simple question. If I took a
You're
picture
just a
of this
liar.
bridge,
You're just being really, really intellectually dishonest.
How am I lying about asking you if I would have to stack?
Because you're pretending. Because you're pretending that stacking is going to change the way this picture looks. And you aren't able. Let me finish. You aren't able to. You aren't able to. You aren't able to explain how that could be. And when you're challenged on it, you say, "Oh, I'm not. I was just inquiring about what stacking is." When you're not, you're trying to cast doubt on the image because stacking, a thing that you admit you don't even know what it is, but because that's involved, that means you can reject the picture in some way. And that's why we've had all this elaborate, not just asking what stacking is, but all the questioning surrounding it. And it's just silly. If you can make an argument that stacking has changed this picture, go and make that argument. But don't just keep going.
Argument for me.
Do I need to use stacking? Well,
Jim,
stacking
as you act like a child, you can use that voice to answer this question. Your child voice.
You're acting like a child. Asking the same question over and over again that was answered yesterday and 10 minutes ago and 2 minutes ago.
Are you ready?
You're acting like a fucking child.
Yeah, we'll let the audience decide that. If this picture wasn't stacked, would it appear different?
Only in sharpness.
Only in sharpness.
It's no.
Hold on. I'm going to get this point out now. I've been trying to get this out for a while. The other day, talking to Soundly, Mr. RAQIA here made it a point to ask Soundly what this process was called, wrote it down, had it spelled out for him. Median, MEDIAN, median stacking, because he wanted to know more about this. What has he looked into about it? Nothing.
I haven't looked into it yet. I actually DM'd Soundly yesterday.
Nothing.
I actually DM'd Sound. Will you let me respond to your ludicrous
there is no response. You've done nothing.
So you're gonna divine my thought and answer for me.
Okay?
Why'd you ask the question? Hey, Curved, where am I right now, sir?
To hear you lie. That's why I asked the question. To hear you lie.
No, I'm gonna tell you the truth then. So I DM'd Soundly yesterday or day before to ask him what the term was again because I had lost it. And when I went to go look it up, I didn't find a lot of information on it. So that's where I'm at right now. So when I asked people earlier what stacking was, no one seemed to know. And my other question is, for 2 years I've been asking about this particular photo, the one that's not widely used, as Jim would say. I've never heard stacking before. It just came up Friday or Saturday or Sunday, whatever day it was.
Look, your ignorance doesn't amaze anyone. What you don't know does not surprise anyone.
Yeah, no problem.
You know concrete and poker. That's it.
Yeah, I'm learning. Yeah, I'm better at poker than I am physics. Yeah.
You're not learning. You're not learning a fucking thing.
I'm learning what stacking is and what it can do to a photo.
No, you're not.
Oh, I'm not?
That's the point. You haven't, have you?
Have you, Jim? What's stacking, Jim?
I get. What? Have I got to answer that for the third time?
You haven't answered it yet.
Really? Shall we
really?
wind the tape back so we can hear me answering it? So we can hear me say it's taking the same photo over and over again and adding them together. How many? I've said that 3 times. That's the 4th.
Medium stacking, Jim?
Median.
Well, median, I guess, is the. I'm guessing is the. It will be the name given to the sort of algorithmic method of deciding what is included and what's left out from each image to add into the final image.
So things are left out of this photo, Jim?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yes, the blurry.
Things in there. Fuck off, you fucking idiot.
Golly, spout.
No, look, don't pretend. So things are left out of this photo, Jim. I mean, you fucking wanker. Dishonest wanker.
Honest.
How far away is that boat, RAQIA?
About half a mile.
Oh, lying sack of shit.
Lying? It was a fun troll.
You're a lying sack of shit.
Well, it might be 0.7. You might be right. It might be 0.7.
You're adding a series of photos together into one photo. So if you've got 10 photos to start with, and you finish with one photo, obviously something's left out, isn't it?
It says it reduces noise.
Yeah, because you're collecting. You're collecting light from several images rather than doing a long exposure and getting more light that way. You're collecting lots of images and then adding them together with software to get all the light bits from each added together. And as a result of that, you get a nice sharp image.
I'm getting more results today on noise reduction. Medium stacking versus averaging noise reduction.
Yes, but it has nothing about making things curved so that you can fake flat earthers on Earth. It's an algorithm that allows you to join multiple photos together to give you the most, I don't know, presentable image, the one with the least noise. Okay.
You understand my question, sir. You're being civil. What's your name? Sorry.
You're not being civil.
I'll be civil to people who are civil to me. Watch. I'll prove it.
You're bullshitting. Sorry. That's not civil.
Jim Bandez, if you can go on mute, me and that guy can have a civil conversation. I'll prove you wrong again.
Well, I pretty much exhausted my knowledge on the subject.
Oh, Moyak. So, Moyak, man, you realize why I asked the question? Because that picture, when I drove over it Sunday, you know, that bridge is not, those different levels are not that steep. So I asked the question of what causes that. And I've gotten several different answers. And over 2 years,
perspective. The same reason the telephone pole, when you're looking down a line of telephone poles,
you've got one answer,
they get squished
not
together.
Several.
Yeah, they get squished together.
Such a liar.
Why do you keep calling me a liar, sir? Just calm down.
But you're lying. It's your fake, and your fake inquiring tone.
You're boring.
It's just fake and lying and
you're boring.
Intellectually dishonest.
You have nothing.
Just
nothing.
Desperately trying to find some straw you can clutch to cast doubt on something.
As Jim keeps on and on and on.
Again, as usual with Flat Earth these days, it's just elaborate ways of saying I don't believe you. Oh, stacking! I don't believe that. Maths! I don't believe that. Fucking so dishonest.
How many times are you going to ask the same question about why things look more curved or more steep when you look down them? How many answers do you need? I swear to God, I've heard you ask this question 30 fucking times. What do you think is going to happen this time you ask it?
Phil,
that's not civil, dude.
Okay, Phil. over the last 2 years, how many times have you heard me ask that question? Just
at least a dozen. At least a dozen.
In the last 24 hours.
Let's give you 20 times, right? How many times have I heard compressed perspective?
Which is
I don't know, a bunch of times. Everybody
no.
of
You would be wrong about that.
If you ask the same question to 20 different people, if you ask the same question to 20 different people, they're going to describe what they're seeing in different ways. Why would you expect everyone to give exactly the same answer? That's absurd.
Are you going to keep?
They're all describing exactly the same phenomenon. You just want people to give you different answers so you can say that you got contradictions from people and call them out. That's the whole purpose. I'm so sick of fucking hearing
you're wrong, buddy. I don't care what you're sick of. When they said compressed perspective, you know what I did? I went and looked it up and learned about what it was because I'd never heard that term before. And that was Saturday. I think M. Scott Veach said it.
It's the same thing people have been describing to you the whole time.
Right. The technical term.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I went and looked it up and learned about it. That's fine. And then about 10 minutes
and yet
later,
you're still in here asking questions about it like you've only just heard about it. I wonder why that is. And then pretending that this is honest in some way.
Oh my God. Saturday. I haven't learned all about it.
After you learned about it.
Learned about it. I heard about it Saturday, Phil. Now you're being ugly.
It's been explained
Saturday, sir.
a dozen times. Just because you learned a new word about how to describe it, you're still coming in here today asking the same question again.
I didn't ask
how many answers do you need? You know the answer.
I asked if what we knew about stacked photos, if they could change or alter the shape of a photo. Because nothing I'm finding online says that. And no one wanted to answer that. That's your answer? Go Google it?
Yeah, I'm sick of answering your questions.
Then go on mute, sir.
Google.
Why do you address me? Why do you address me?
Yo, because I can only hear you ask the same thing so many times.
RAQIA.
Then put yourself on mute when I'm talking.
Hey, RAQIA.
Yeah, penniless.
Yeah, RAQIA. Do you think
Quit Googling, reading an answer, and then asking us for that answer?
Yeah, for your opinions. Y'all seem to be the smart ones. I like the different perspective, right? I like to get both sides of the argument, both sides.
You argue like a little girl. That's
Whatever. Another insult.
You do. That's not an insult. That's the truth. It's sad.
Punelius, did you want to ask me something?
Are you that fucking illiterate?
No, not really. Go ahead.
Punelius. Are you being serious?
Wait.
I don't know.
That's
what his name is.
I struggle to know how to pronounce that, or at least I did when I first saw it.
Hot mic, Jim. Hot mic.
It's the first one I've ever, the first time I've ever seen him. I've never heard his name pronounced.
Oh, you fucking liar, RAQIA. I know you on the debate Flat Earth and More server, Flat Earth debate science versus pseudoscience. You fucking liar. I just debated you. RAQIA, I just debated you for 3 hours today.
Panulis? Yeah, but I was driving. I wasn't looking at names. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you are such a terrible liar. Oh my God.
I was driving, sir, at work, a Bobcat and a dually. I'm not lying. I never saw your name. This is the first time I've seen your name. Do you want to pronounce it or not?
Mate, no. If you can't pronounce it, you're illiterate.
Okay.
You can't work that out.
Cool.
Well, also, my question was, RAQIA, is forget about all this for a second. Do you think any sort of picture alterations means that the object in the photo doesn't exist?
No.
Oh, okay, because that's what I'm hearing here.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe any photo can prove or
altered 10 times.
Okay, well, what do you mean not prove anything?
Well, I don't think you can prove that it's curved or flat by an observation is what I meant.
Okay, RAQIA, I posted a picture. I don't know if this will help you any.
Why do flat earthers constantly champion, what's your observation, right? At the same time saying, observations don't prove anything.
I think that can give you a basis, right? But when they're obviously altered, when they're obviously altered and maybe taken at an angle at a certain light that might show a different effect.
An angle of a certain light. Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's a very nice genetic fallacy you got there. But
whatever. Do you agree that when you take
10 alterations?
Do you agree?
By the way,
whatever your name.
By the way, RAQIA, that's what a genetic fallacy actually is. In case you're
whatever. I don't care about that. So, do you take long distance observations with a zoom camera, sir?
I take it with the telescope.
Telescope. So you would agree that the angle of light is a big factor, right?
Huh?
Largely not all that much. No.
So you're mainly doing observations of the sky?
The angle is nearly the same. It doesn't affect like what I'm taking a picture of. What matters is that it comes into the scope from the same direction, which it does. It has to. Otherwise, I can't process the image.
Okay, but you're doing observations of the sky or low level?
Both.
Okay, so when you take use your telescope over low level, you don't agree that the angle of light is going to change what you're seeing drastically?
No, because I don't think you understand how a telescope.
Okay,
I don't think you understand how a telescope works.
Okay.
Because in order for me to see an image, it has to come in at a precise angle. It can't. If it varies, then I'm gonna see something different.
My point exactly.
No, like not even like subtle. Like I'll know that, hey, stupid, you're looking at something different. Stupid. Like there's no subtlety to it. Like I can look at a building and then look to like 5 feet to the left of the building, and then I'll look through the telescope and realize, oh shit. Like there's no conspiracy, dude.
That's because of the angle of light?
Yes.
That's my point exactly, sir. Thank you. With a camera, you would say it's different than a telescope? With a high zoom camera, you would say it's different? Like you would get a better view of your... No? That the angle of light doesn't affect what you're seeing?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Telescopes and cameras, they use similar lenses. The only real difference is that cameras take pictures and telescopes do not.
So as soon as you say that the angle of light doesn't make a difference, we're done.
No. Largely no. Because when I look at it, it has to be lined up perfectly. Otherwise, I'm going to clearly know when something's wrong. Right?
What camera do you have?
And I don't use a long-range camera.
Do you have one?
No.
I would suggest you get one before you spout that off again. Because
Yeah,
the angle of light is everything.
You know what I do use? I use a long-range telescope that actually has a camera on it.
I'm cool with that. And the angle of light might not affect it as much, or does affect it even more. As what you're saying, the angle of light affects it even more. So you're proving my point even more.
Yeah, but the problem is that when that happens, I immediately know it's happening. It's not that I'm faking it.
Yeah, no, but I didn't say you were faking it. I was saying the angle of light affects what you're seeing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank
so
you
then,
for proving my point.
And please tell me how I can produce a curve on a telescope when that's not physically possible.
I don't think you can. I mean, the lenses, the outer edges seem to be.
So you're literally just obfuscating at this point, right?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I'm literally telling you the truth off the cuff.
Because RAQIA, if you knew anything about optics or telescopes or anything, you know that you can't produce a curve from a flat shape with those devices.
I never said you could.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I don't own a telescope. I don't use them over low angle.
You just said like, oh, the angle of the light makes it look curved. You said that like 5 minutes ago.
I never said the angle of the light makes it look curved.
Yes, you did. Come on.
I said it affects. Oh my God! Am I in Bizarro world? I never said that.
Or it could just be that you're dishonest.
The angle of light makes things look curved. That's what you're saying.
No, you're in a world where a grown.
I never even mentioned the word curved until you did.
Oh, you definitely said the word curved.
You're in a world where a grown-ass man actually thinks that there's a worldwide conspiracy for centuries that the Earth is actually flat and not a sphere like everything else we see in nature.
Okay.
Answer your question, yes, this is Bizarro World.
Yeah, I agree. Cosmo.
Except for a few greasy unemployed morons, many of which are freaking convicted criminals.
Kosho, did I ever say that the angle of light makes things appear curved?
I wouldn't know, to be honest. I wasn't paying attention.
All right.
Well, I mean,
cool.
it's
I'm not kidding. I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, no.
I'm a full on like flat earther rock. Yeah, my tags in the other server say so. Like even I can't agree with you on this one.
I don't care what you agree. I never said that.
It's recorded live, yeah, so don't worry. We'll check it out tomorrow or something.
Yeah, Chemo, find it, buddy. I'd like to hear where I said the angle of light makes things appear curved. I said the angle of light affects what you're viewing. And you agreed with me. And how do you pronounce your name?
Largely. Largely, yes, but the point is that if when I'm operating something so sensitive, right, I immediately know when I'm looking at something different, and I gotta adjust to the right. It's not that difficult, man. It's not like I'm pointing it, and then like as soon as I snap the photo, the light just fucks it up somehow. It doesn't work like that.
I never said it did. I don't even get your point. We're talking about the angle of light making a huge difference. And it obviously makes a bigger difference.
My point is if you think that this can somehow like tamper with photos we already have and like people just don't know about this, you're an idiot.
I never said that. I don't even know where you're getting
He's an idiot.
Oh my goodness. Y'all just like calling me a liar and idiot.
Well, we all know, RAQIA, that you are a liar. You've proven that umpteen times, so I wouldn't argue too much about it. Yeah. You've done it sort of in live streams and everything, so I wouldn't get too butthurt over being called a liar.
I do want to apologize, though, because I called you a retard earlier. I was in a bad mood, I suppose.
Yeah, no problem.
I shouldn't.
Yeah, that's rather unkind to genuine retards.
It's accurate, but ugly.
It's below me to do that, and I apologize. But there's a gentleman named Little G in here. I haven't seen him in here before, and he's been trying to speak up about this. And it seems like he's got his own. He did just disappear too as soon as I said his name.
Hey, Kosho, how do you pronounce that guy's name? Starts with a P.
Cornelius, PW. That's the hard part.
Man, how do you not like? Were you not alive in 2009 or what?
No.
Are you any relation to Pornholio?
Come on. I always say Nelius, but come on, it gets kind of stuck on your mouth a little bit. You got to admit that.
Cornelius? Okay, I got it now.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Spit it out.
You're getting there, man. You just got to spit it out, man. Like, don't hesitate.
Cornelius.
You know, it's funny also about George's. I posted it several times, but on people always have trouble saying George's name, and Walter Bislin. Walter Bislin is so on point that even on Walter Bislin's fucking website, he has how to pronounce George's name. It's pretty funny. Posted it in here.
Mr. Cornelius. Mr. Cornelius. When we were talking this morning, you said debating. I was working, sir. I wasn't looking at any of the names.
So fucking what? I'm working right now.
So when you call me a liar for not ever seeing your name, I've never seen your name before. Is today the first time?
Rock, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm literally working right now, and I know how to pronounce your name.
Right, but I'm driving a Bobcat in a truck. I'm not looking at names. So how would I have seen your name?
What do you mean you're driving a Bobcat in a truck?
I was driving a Bobcat, jackhammering concrete, and then loaded it in my trailer and drove a truck.
Driving a Bobcat. Yeah. But driving my Bobcat down the road.
Driving that T590.
Here's a fun fact.
God damn.
Here's a fun
You
fact.
called me a liar over nothing.
Anybody wants to steal anything. What's Moyak doing? We need to pay attention to Moyak, guys. Because I think he's crying out for help right now. What are you about to do, Moyak?
What's wrong? What happened?
You don't see him posting bullets on the screen?
Load up on guns.
He's like lining up bullets like...
Moyak. Got that rat shot going on.
Yeah.
10. What's that?
What are those rounds in the middle?
No, that's not 227. It's too short.
What are those rounds in those big long ones in the middle?
Short
30-30.
30-30 maybe, yeah.
What's that for?
That's for killing people and more.
What fucking kind of gun do you put that in?
That's
30-30.
So I didn't say what's your favorite ESPN show. I said, what kind of gun do you put that in?
30-30.
People deer hunt with them. Whatever.
My Winchester 30-30.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like a rifle. A regular human would just say a rifle. Okay.
Well, you can go buy a BFR and shoot them out of those big fucking revolvers.
A BFR.
A BFR. Oh boy. That's what I wonder about, man. Like I gotta shop around for like a Glock or something because I gotta stay strapped.
Dude, when COVID started, my sister, her weed dealer came over and he just brought over 2 guns. And just gave her 2 guns and all these bullets and stuff.
But RAQIA, do you see how steep those pile of bullets become just by looking down the line of them?
Let me see. They're different.
I want a bolt gun in real life. That's what I want.
Oh yeah, they make an art. Yeah.
I want like an actual bolt gun in real life.
Wait, you saying a bolt gun or just a gun?
Bolt action, sir.
No, not a bolt action. Like a bolt gun. Do you know what a bolt gun is?
Are we talking Warhammer 40,000?
Livestock.
Like Warhammer 40,000, man.
Yeah.
Bolt
gun or a bolt rifle.
It's like a gun that shoots like a self-propelled can of Red Bull that explodes.
Oh, it's just for stunning animals prior to slaughter.
No, it's like for blowing people's limbs off.
You just want a bolt pistol and a chainsword.
I don't know about that.
Splatter.
But I can't complete the look for that unless I have like a power claw or something that I looted off some war boss.
It's the first time I've ever heard of a bolt gun. Cool.
Well, there's bolt guns that they use, like I said, for slaughter, like a cow or something. But what was I gonna say? No, yeah, I mean you can go out and get a gun any day of the week, man.
Yeah. The problem is, man, like I got a speeding ticket last weekend, so I'm probably
that doesn't mean anything.
Fucking like airport cops, man. They know me by name because I work at the airport, and they still ticketed my ass for going like 15 over.
Are you saying for money, like for money wise? Let's say I don't think a speeding ticket's gonna make you not able to get a gun.
I don't know, man. Some speeding tickets they can be like $500.
Yeah, I'm in the thousands, dude. I got pulled over one time 2 years ago. I was going to visit my ex, and it was like 2 in the morning. I was fucking drinking a beer. And I was just happened to be driving through the same place that I got a speeding ticket, and I guess I didn't realize I had a speeding ticket because I got the ticket, I just never paid for it. But anyways, the cop pulled me over and he's like, "You realize you have like a ticket from like 2 years ago?" I was like, "Oh shit!" And he almost let me go, but then he's like, "Actually, my sergeant says I gotta fucking take you in unless you're gonna pay for it right now." And so he fucking handcuffed me, put me in the car, and pulled out like a credit card machine and said I either have to give him $900 or I gotta go to jail. So it was like $900 fucking bucks for like a 2-year-old ticket.
Yeah, I mean it's complete bullshit, man. The thing is, like after I got pulled over, I went back to work the next day at the airport, and I'm leaving like right as those 2 fucking cops are rolling up to work. And the guy's like, "Oh, are you gonna go ride your motorcycle tonight?" I was like, "Yeah, no thanks to you, dickweed."
Yeah, usually if cops pull you over once, they tend to pick on you because they think that they're gonna get something on you again.
Yeah, it's just the thing is, if it was like a regular city cop, I probably would have got off with a warning because I have no record at all.
How many miles were you going over?
Like 17.
Well, then yeah, cops don't usually let you get away with that.
I don't know, dude. Like my friend literally the same night got pulled over, and then 2 towns over, he was slightly drunk, and he's like a 5-time convicted felon, and he got off with a warning because their fucking ticketing machine broke.
Actually, one time because it was a speed trap, I got pulled over doing 30 over, and I was literally while I was driving, I was rolling a blunt and drinking a beer. I had all this shit going on, and and the second I got pulled over, like I was okay, be cool. There's like 2 chicks with me. I was like, okay, just be cool. And put everything away. And I think because I was going so fast over the speed limit, and because like he knew it was a speed trap, he let me just get away with the warning. I was like, okay, thanks, man. But yeah, I could have easily gotten a lot.
Dude, in Nevada, they're pulling people over for doing like fucking 140, 150 on the freeway, and then they just reduce it. If you just pay the fine, they just reduce it to a parking ticket.
What?
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
You still have to pay the fine though, which is like $700 or something.
No, reckless endangerment is a totally different charge than speeding. So if it's like you said 17, and different states have different reckless endangerment, like it's 19 or 20 in some places. But if you get reckless endangerment, it's a much different ticket than speeding tickets. Like $2,000, and it's a big deal.
Well, like, what was I gonna say? Shit.
About your speed, I said I did 30 over. Then Jake said something about Nevada.
Oh yeah, like the weird part about all this is like on my ticket, it says I'm like going like it's 57 and a 35. So what is that?
12 or 22.
12. Wait. Oh no, I'm sorry. 53 and a 35.
Oh, then that's 17.
Yeah, but like he marked on the ticket like I was going 20 over or more.
That's reckless endangerment then.
No, but like it's bullshit though.
Yeah, I know that would be bullshit if he did that and you were not going that fast. But those are two totally different charges, and once it becomes reckless endangerment, it's actually a big deal. So I don't know what state you're in, but I would look that up if I were you. I would look up reckless endangerment and see what the speed is, because it's different states, and like I said, it's a totally different charge. You can get a shit ton of trouble.
Yeah, I might have to call like the county prosecutor and see like what I can do about this, because I want to make sure like that's what I think it is. Like, well, how far over you were going.
Well, you might be in luck though too if he fucked up on the ticket, dude. You can just show that he fucked up, on the ticket. I've seen so many people get out of tickets just because the cop, put something down wrong. But if you did 17 over and he put you down as 20 over or more or something like that, then I've seen people get out of tickets just because the cop like wrote his name wrong or just wrote something wrong.
Yeah, everything's got to be spot on, hasn't it?
Otherwise, you could just call into question is the entire fucking thing.
I mean, I'm no expert. I've only been done for speeding 9, 10 times maybe.
Yeah, I'm just hoping this doesn't put a damper on my Navy packet I'm trying to put together.
Admittedly, that's spread over the course of 30-odd years, but a lot of it depends on the mood of the copper. I mean, I once got, I think he followed me through sort of half the village and I was doing 60, 70 mile an hour. Being an absolute prat, didn't realise he was behind me. I pulled over to talk to me mates. He pulled up. We had a word. I gave him some bullshit excuse, and away he went. Didn't do me for anything at all. I was, quite a fair way. I was sort of doing twice the speed limit.
Yeah, I got pulled over by airport cops, man, which is like they're bored, and it was like, oh man, now I finally get to ticket somebody. Oh my god. Yeah,
I got that once. I was doing some contract work at one of the biggest of the RAF bases here in the UK, Bryce Norton, and this copper pulled me over, and I don't know what his problem was, but he basically said, "Did you know you got a brake light out?" And I said, "Oh no, I didn't. Oh, thank you very much. I'll get that fixed. I had no idea." And he just seemed to be so pissed off that I was like, "Oh, thanks. Cheers. Thanks for telling me that, because I hadn't got a clue. I mean, how often do you check your own brake lights? It just seems I was thankful that he pulled me over and told me. It's like, oh, cheers, mate. Yeah.
That's usually what they did. That's why there's a lot of good cops out there, but the way I see cops, like traffic police especially, they're basically like glorified extortionists for the city, because at the end of the day, they're not really upholding the law. I mean, some of them, to some extent they are, but most of the time, they're literally there to catch people in ways that's just going to make the city money. So if they can catch you going a couple miles per hour over, if they catch you with something with your lights or something like that, and then hopefully pull you over and find something else that's wrong, something like that.
I've never received a ticket for lights except for one that says you get a warning, basically. I've never gotten one where they actually fined me for it. Just come in and prove that you've changed the light.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The whole purpose is not to give you a ticket for your lights, is to pull you over and check you out and see what's up. And if you're a kid or if you're someone who looks suspicious, then they can look further and hopefully find something else.
You shouldn't do things wrong then.
Some people gotta do things wrong, man.
Well, then you're wrong.
Let's say you want to smoke weed. Some places it's illegal to smoke weed. You get pulled over for your lights, and that's what they're looking
for. You better not do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my friends like a week ago. He spent the night in jail just for riding his He was riding his bike without tags or anything on it. And they took him to jail.
Well, the whole time I had a motorcycle, I've sold it now, but the entire time I had it, I never had a license or anything. But I never got
I mean, like more than half the people I know, like they ride without anything, like no license plate, no nothing.
Well, that's stupid, bro. To not have a license plate, but
that's like the obvious target. They're extorting people, man, because like on those bikes, they'll charge you like at least $400 in the sales tax. Yeah, like I bought my bike for like $5,700, right? And then the DMV charged me like $450 to get tags for that car.
Yeah, that's how much it costs.
That bike. Yeah, just on the that's how much it costs for the tags because they factor it by sales tax.
Well, I spent less than $1,000 when I got mine, and it never even had it never had a battery, so I had to kickstart it. Cool little bike.
Yeah, this part about it that really annoyed me was like the cop. He goes back in his car, and I'm chilling talking to his partner about bikes because he rides a Yamaha. And then the cop literally comes back. He's like, "Hey man, thanks for not running off. Like, there's no way you would have been able to. We would have been able to catch you or anything if you ran off on that bike." And I was like, "All right, no problem, dude." But he tells me that like right before he hands me the fucking ticket.
Yeah, when I went to jail last, I was actually in this server at the time when I got pulled over, and I ended up talking to the cops for like 45 minutes before I actually got arrested about the flat Earth. That's what we were talking about the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was
this guy's on drugs.
Yeah, right.
It was like, hey man, like I appreciate you not running, and then he thanks me by handing me a fucking ticket.
They were telling, yeah.
And it's like, well, you're welcome, dude. Maybe I should have ran. Shit.
Well, that's a good idea, but you gotta remember that Marconi is faster than you are.
Not always.
Yeah, like they're airport cops, dude.
And
like,
if you get caught for running, you're gonna be a shitload more fucked up than. Not to mention, you'll probably end up wrecking.
The very first time when I was 16, I got pulled over, and I was going more than double. I was going 87 or 40 in a Dodge Ram pickup truck, and the cops, because I was like, fuck, dude, because I had open road, and so I was like, it was like the middle of the night, and so I just started gunning it because it's such a powerful truck. But like as soon as I started fucking gunning it, they came out of the baseball field, and when they pulled me over, they're like, "Yeah, we figured you would have kept going because you would have easily outran us." And I never thought about that because I wasn't going to do it. But yeah, I mean, I probably easily could have going 87 and then starting at 0. I could have easily outrun them.
Yeah, it's like shit. Maybe because like they're airport cops, dude. They're not going to chase you. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should have fucking ran. If you guys are just gonna like slap me with this ticket.
Yeah, but you might have gone to jail in that case.
Nah, dude, it's like the back roads of Northwest Arkansas. You can lose cops anywhere.
No, I'm saying if you would have gotten pulled over after evading, you probably could.
Oh, after evading, yeah. Well, I mean, the weird thing is, man, it's like I was frustrated, so I went to the Waffle House to go get some food after that, and I come out of the Waffle House, I'm going home, but my house is like literally right up the street, and there's another cop sitting in that gas station by the Waffle House, and he's clocking me as I'm going by. It's like, really, dude? I just got pulled over. Now you want to pull my ass over too?
I was wondering about that because I was in Dallas not that long ago, and I saw a Waffle House, and I was like, "Are they even still open?"
Nah, dude. Waffle House is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, but I'm saying like because of COVID, like you can still go in and get food.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different.
Most everything's open by us.
In Texas, it's not that way.
Dude,
some restaurants I think may be open, but most places are not.
Dude, places out here are fucking packed.
Really?
Yeah.
Like restaurants?
Yeah, like restaurant because they have limited seating. You know, they're only outdoors, and there's limited seating. So,
Pontius, it sounds like you got that ticket in Johnson.
852,000.
Nah, it wasn't Johnson, dude. Like I literally just got handed that ticket and like right outside my regional airport.
You're kidding.
Thing is, man, like I'm about to quit that job. Like not only because like, hey, I'm working from home now with better pay, and my fucking degree's about to be done, so I'm gonna up for the Navy or something.
Wait, you were in the Navy?
But, no, I was thinking about upping for the Navy though.
Alright, how old are you?
21.
Yeah, I would do that shit. Navy's a pretty good time, man.
Hope you're ready to get fucked upstate, you cupcake. How many dicks can your butt take?
Yeah, if you're gay, you might like it because of gay people and stuff. But if you're not gay, you probably also like it because it's not gay. So,
yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of straight stuff in the Navy too.
I mean, if you're going in with a degree, you might as well go Air Force. That way, you can be an officer somewhere nice.
No, are you serious?
I'm one fucking you, and two.
Listen to me, dude.
I'm also prior service, so they won't take me.
Oh, wait, private. Wait, what service?
Fucking Army.
Oh yeah. See, Army sucks, and the locations suck. The Air Force has very much the worst bases in the world. Well, the bases themselves, you get lobster and chicken, or not chicken, chocolate, and all sorts of gourmet food, but they're in the middle of fucking nowhere. So I don't know why Brian just said you get a badass base in the Air Force.
Yeah,
but in the Navy, you easily have the best bases in the world. They're all on beaches, and they're all in, like I said, beautiful places.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of weird, man. Like the only nice base I've ever been to was Barksdale, but that's like by New Orleans where it's hot as fuck. So yeah, no bueno.
Why did you say that, Brian?
Yeah, Brian.
I was referring to location, not the quality of the base. Like Aviano and Rammstein are
No,
beautiful
dude.
areas.
Like Air Force bases, especially in my state, they suck. They're in the middle of nowhere.
Brian?
Yeah, but if
You said Rammstein?
Isn't Rammstein's a combined base?
Yeah, it's a combined base. I've been there, and it's a nice base for sure. But the whole idea is that, like when I was in Qatar, I was at an Air Force base. All Air Force bases are almost always in the middle of nowhere. It's just really in the middle of nowhere. And to be honest, Air Force people, no offense, by the way, Air Force people in here, but Air Force people are the worst. Okay, right. So are Army people. Anybody who's not the Navy, pretty much they suck, dude.
Wait, what about Marines though?
They suck, man. They fucking suck. They're some of the worst, man.
But Marines are Navy.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
They're under our jurisdiction. That doesn't mean that they're the same.
Department of the Navy.
They're under our jurisdiction. They don't have their own chief of staff. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that they are not sailors, and we are not Marines.
Dude, we've literally adapted our training regimens to where like Marines have to make pretty much the same medical qualifications as Navy.
Yeah, their corpsmen come from the Navy. Like the corpsmen who go with the Marines are usually from the Navy. But dude, I've been chewed out by more Marines than I have Navy people. I've been chewed out by like 10 Marines. I'm not even in the fucking Marines.
Did you deserve it?
The thing about the Marines,
half the time maybe.
Have a full command structure because you can't trust those assholes to not fuck it up.
Wait. What did you say? The first part of what you said?
I said you can't trust the Marines to have their own jurisdiction because there's no way those assholes won't fuck it up.
No, that's exactly right, and that's actually the biggest difference between all the branches. Like, you're definitely following orders when you're in the Marines to the person right above you, and you get the trust what this idiot is telling you to do. And the Air Force, it's very much the worst. Like, every job is isolated, and you, like, for when it comes to publications and training, each individual task is basically done by a different person who specializes in that specific task, and they can't do anything outside of what they're getting orders to do. And the Navy is the only branch where it's completely different than all that, and almost nobody tells you what to do, even when they need to, and you got to kind of figure shit out for yourself, and figure out how to solve problems, all that kind of shit on your own. But that's the biggest difference between all the branches.
Yeah, I mean, this is a long shot, like a really long shot, but I could go to the Navy, and then finish my last 2 years, year and a half of college, and then up for STA 21, so I can go fly fighter jets or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, but it's too late for me.
Why? What happened?
It's too late. Like, you can't be 20. You can't be over 28 to be a pilot.
Oh, you're over 28.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I would not have guessed that.
Hard to get past the physical too. They go pretty in depth with your eyesight and your heart valves and all that.
No, they don't.
I mean, they don't go pretty. They don't. I mean, it's not like you have to be the best, the best eyes in the world, but you have to have good eyes. Yeah.
Let me guess. You watched that one episode of the infographic show on YouTube where they told you have to have uncorrected 20/20 vision, which is
no. My best friend. No, my best friend's a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force.
That's funny about the Air Force pilots.
Go ahead.
That's the Air Force, dude. Like that. Yeah, they're super slick.
But it really though. You do have to have good eyesight. It doesn't have to be like the best.
They do. I think they do accept PRK eye surgery now for correction. I believe.
What is PRK?
But it's pretty limited.
They accept LASIK and PRK.
So would they have accepted
I
me
think
who has
they've
the
changed
lazy
stuff.
eye?
No,
Well, like, even
it's going to affect your depth perception.
No, even if you don't have those surgeries, right, you can still get it. Like, you can still get that job or that pilot slot. It's just you have to. It has to be like uncorrected, like 20 to like 100 or something like that. Basically, like you can be legally blind almost and still fly.
What?
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true, man. Legally blind, and it lets you be a pilot. They don't even let you drive if you're legally blind.
Yeah, dude. Look up the reg.
I don't know about that, man.
Find the reg where it says that, because I'm telling you, that's what it says.
My buddy, when he went into pilot training, which was back in 2002, they were pretty anal, and not only that, they ultrasounded his heart and checked his heart valves for leakage, because what they had found was a certain percentage of people have natural heart valve leakage, which isn't a problem at 1G, but when you start pulling G's, dude, those valves leak a lot, and it can cause
like
big
9G
problems.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, it's interesting. Yeah, you're talking about this. It probably also is a difference between the regulation for an active pilot versus one who's going through training. We're not going to train you if you got shitty eyesight, but if you guys like the grades a little bit, we're going to.
All right, hold on. I found the physical standards from the Surgeon General. Hold on.
But Mark has a good point though. Like when it comes to actually taking people on, they're going to be more reluctant to take somebody on who's got that.
Right. It's by the way, it's your vision can degrade once you're in. Like you can have corrective lenses once you're already in. Once you're already.
All right. Here we go, boys. For service group 1, 20/100 corrected to 20/20 with glasses or contacts or whatever. Group 2 is 20/200. And group 3 is 20/400. So, like, you can be almost legally blind and still do aviation stuff.
Right, but is that active service or is that new?
This is period. Like, there's no difference between reserves and active duty as far as.
I meant
people who are actively serving or people who are there looking to hire. Because even when I was going to get a job, not even a pilot's job, they test your eyesight. And
yeah, like I'm telling you, dude, like this document is from April of this year, and it's for applicants. And even if it weren't, right, it doesn't matter, because they're not gonna like turn a blind eye to a guy just because he has eyesight problems down the line. Okay, like it doesn't work like that. They're not just gonna like conspire against the standard because there's a guy who's about to get out, and they're like, no, I want you to stay in. No, they don't do that. And I guess group 1 is like aviators qualified for unlimited duties. Group 2 is aviators restricted to shipboard aircrew duties, excluding helicopter. And then group 3 is like aviators restricted to operating aircraft equipped with dual controls and accompanied on all flights by a pilot or co-pilot in medical service group 1 or 2, qualified in the aircraft operated. So, which means like even if you have 2400 vision, you can still apply to fly fixed wing stuff off carriers if you wanted to.
What are the vision requirements if you hope to be an Air Force pilot? 2030 without correction, 27 distance visual 2070, and correctable.
Okay, so looking at this though, it's different for different jobs. For a pilot, it looks like it's 2050, but for a combat systems officer, it's 2200. All have to be correctable to 2020.
Like I can literally link you the document from Navy Surgeon General.
Yeah, I know, but aviator doesn't mean pilot.
And literally in the groups I listed off to, yes, it literally says operating the aircraft, which means pilot.
Well, these are
operating the aircraft though. That could be
into the Air Force. These are the requirements.
Oh wait.
So 2030 is what you require to becoming an Air Force pilot.
Yeah, but that's Air Force.
But operating the aircraft could be a REO or a WIZO, right?
No.
Well, here it's just talking about it's an Air Force. When they say aviators, they're talking about all sorts of people, not just pilots. But
yeah, but when it qualifies what the group is, it's aviators who, like, literally, and I quote, operate the aircraft. It's not like a guy who sits in the back on a Seahawk and drops sonar buoys.
Or they're even counting people who inspect the plane as aviators.
Yeah, I know, but that's not operating the aircraft.
What does 2400 vision even mean?
It means you're almost legally blind. That's what it means.
It says 2400 can see at 20 feet, what someone with normal sight can see at 400 feet.
Yes,
All right. Once your training begins, you can drop to 2100 in the Navy or Marines. So there is you have to 2040 to be.
The vision standards have become a lot more lax. I mean, they used to not even accept surgery.
Right, but there's a recruited versus in standard. So for recruiting, they have a tougher standard than they do for somebody who's already in.
By the way, they still require uncorrected 2020 close-up vision.
I wonder what that is.
No, wait, the fuck? Where does it say that?
On this document I'm reading, it says 2020 vision uncorrected for near vision.
All right, cite it now, because that's not the one I'm reading.
Yeah, Navy it says
2015, so as in 5 years ago.
In Navy it says 2020 correctable. It says 2040 or 2020 correctable in each eye.
The only requirement is that it correct. It has to be corrected to 2020.
It says training can be no worse than 2100, and then corrected to 2020.
Yeah, so like if you can be corrected to 2020 with glasses or contacts or LASIKs or whatever, it's fine.
Why would they accept LASIK? I mean, I thought it's as close to a permanent.
No, they accept LASIK. They accept LASIK now.
So if I come out of my LASIK with 2020, then I'm 2020.
Well, like you can get LASIK, but I think you have to follow up with PRK.
And now I'm on the Air Force RAQIA pilot and combat systems officer requirements, and it says normal color vision, uncorrected distant vision cannot exceed 2200, uncorrected near vision cannot exceed 2040. Both distance and near vision must correct to 2020 or better. Corrective eye surgery could be a disqualifier. You must also meet refraction accommodation and astigmatism requirements. You must meet Air Force weight and physical condition requirements. Yeah.
Yeah, I linked the med reg.
The problem is, I wonder how much tolerance for astigmatism they have.
I mean, come on, man. The problem is that one, they have an incredible shortage, not of applicants, but of like actual pilots that stay around. If I can stop lagging, that'd be great. But I mean, I don't think there's anybody in a MEP station or a flight examiner going like, hey, I know the standards say 2100, but you're like 2070, so we're just going to cut you anyway. That doesn't happen.
I think this document is talking about pilots, though.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, I'm saying the document you posted.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm talking about.
I said it's not talking about pilots.
No, yeah, I've been talking about pilots for the past like 15, 20 minutes.
I know. Okay, so the document that you posted, I don't think this document you posted is talking about pilots. Is what I'm saying.
What do you mean doesn't talk about pilots?
It doesn't seem like it's talking about pilots.
How?
The purpose of this guy, flight surgeon. It's talking about yeah, it's just talking about
like read the definitions for medical service group numbers. Because like I don't think this document really has anything to do with the machinist that works on hangar deck 3, right? Like even you got fighter pilots on YouTube even saying that's wrong, where it's like, oh man, these guys self-eliminate because they wear glasses, and it's not true.
It's just talking about all sorts of people in aviation.
No,
it even says, yeah, it even says the job I had, I was a CTI, and it says cryptologic technicians. It's talking about all sorts of people, ATCs.
Wait, hold on. Shall be considered as Class 2 naval aircrew. So what about the other two groups? And also Class 3, which aren't even included in Class 1, which is what I'm talking about. When it brings up ATCs, they're an entirely different personnel class. When it talks about vision requirements, or at least where I cited it, it's talking about Class 1s, which are flyers. Yeah, like where it says like 20 to 100, that's under Class 1 standards. Oh man, I'll tell you what, the Air Force document's a bit harder to navigate.
Yeah, that's right. I was talking to a Navy pilot at breakfast one time. And he told me the biggest difference between Navy pilots and Air Force pilots is Air Force pilots to give you like 5 giant documents, publications that tell you what you can do and how to fly and all that stuff. It's like the Navy publication is like one small booklet that just tells you what you can't do.
Yeah, it's like
why
they gotta make it so damn complicated? I can read the Navy document, no problem. Why does the Air Force have to make it such a bitch? Whatever, I'm just gonna Control F. But yeah, I mean, this is exactly what CW Lemoyne talks about when like people don't read the reg and then they see something online and say like, and they self-eliminate where it's like, oh no, I wear glasses or you know, I'm this, I'm that.
Well, no, so I'm seeing other places that it says indeed you have to have 2020 or 2040 if it's uncorrected and 2020 once it's corrected.
I mean, I don't know what date that
so I'm
is.
saying, I'm trying to see what exactly they're referring to in the document you're posting to see if they're talking about pilots or not, because I don't think that they are.
Well, it's like here, I linked this video of actually CW Lemoyne, and he watches this like really crappy infographics video on YouTube, which I mean the video's been deleted now, but yeah, he just tells you about like how all the information they use it's fucking wrong, and the only thing it does is does a disservice to the air wing by just telling people like, yeah, you can't be a fighter pilot. It's like that, or like We Are the Mighty articles that just regurgitate the same information that's completely wrong.
So would you go in as a reserve?
I don't know. I mean, I might.
I heard that there's advantages. Like if you go in,
there's a lot of advantages.
If you go in as a reserve, like it's a lot easier to get the aircraft you want to fly than going active duty.
Yeah, I mean that's a true statement too. It's like Air National Guard guys, they get way more airtime than than like Air Force active duty pilots. Because like every weekend of the month, you know, on drill, they have to go out and fly their F-16s or whatever. And like when I work at the airport, I see them every first weekend of the month. They got F-16s flying around and like big old like Black Hawk formations.
And you get paid twice as much in the reserves anyway. You get paid more than twice as much sometimes.
Not only that, but honestly, I think it's better if you're trying to like just reap the benefits of the military and like you want to finish college right away, then I'd recommend reserve. Just because like if you go active duty, you got to take off at least 6 months from school, and then if you go on deployment, it's going to be really, really hard to actually do your schoolwork. But
I think I'll join the Space Force, man.
Space Force, you can apply for that stuff now. It's on the Air Force website.